It was supposed to be a surprise. I had finished work early and picked up my wife's favorite takeout, thinking maybe, just maybe, we could reconnect. After 8 years of marriage and 2 demanding careers, we'd grown distant. I missed her. I missed us. As I entered the house quietly, I heard her upstairs, laughing. She was on the phone. I paused in the hallway, smiling, not wanting to interrupt. Then I heard her say it. I know, right? It's honestly pathetic. 8 years married and he still can't last 5 minutes. My heart stopped. Remember our anniversary trip? I was so frustrated I could have screamed. He thinks he's some amazing lover, but I'm just counting ceiling tiles, waiting for it to be over. The takeout bag slipped from my hands. I stood frozen in place as she continued, her voice dripping with cruelty. Not just complaints, but jokes, mockery, cruel laughter. And who was she talking to? Her sister. I've tried everything, suggestions, guidance, subtle hints. He's hopeless. I've just gotten good at faking it. The worst part is how proud he looks afterward, so clueless. That wasn't just frustration. That wasn't venting. That was contempt. And it was clear. This wasn't a slip-up. It was a pattern. She wrapped up the call with more laughter, something about lunch plans. And I slipped out the door as quietly as I had come in. I sat in my car at a nearby park, takeout untouched, hands trembling. The humiliation, the betrayal, the violation. Our most intimate moments, shared like entertainment with others. What else had she said? Who else knew? I thought of all the family dinners, the inside jokes, the sympathetic glances I never understood. Until now. This wasn't something I could forgive. This wasn't just one hurtful moment. It was truth unmasked. I returned home hours later, composed but altered. She greeted me with a smile that felt like a lie. "You're home early," she said, kissing me on the cheek. That kiss meant nothing now. A mechanical gesture in a performance I wasn't auditioning for anymore. I kept up the act, small talk, dinner, smiles. Inside, I was done. That night, as she slept peacefully beside me, I stared at the ceiling and planned my exit. Over the next few days, I watched, listened, collected. When she was in the shower, I checked her phone, a line I never thought I'd cross. But it wasn't curiosity. It was confirmation. And I found it. Chats with friends, mocking threads, crude jokes, advice on how to cope with me, years of it. It wasn't just her sister. It was all of them. I was a recurring punchline. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I called in sick for the first time in years and booked an appointment with a divorce lawyer. The lawyer was sharp, compassionate, and precise. With 8 years of marriage, this won't be simple. But if you're certain, let's begin. I was certain. She gave me a checklist. Gather documents, secure financial accounts, protect what mattered. And I did. All of it, while keeping up the illusion. Weekend brunches, movie nights, evening walks. I smiled through it all, pretended to be the husband she had mocked behind my back, all while building my escape. Then came the perfect opportunity, her upcoming girls' weekend with college friends. She was excited. We booked an Airbnb by the beach. Everyone's flying in. I encouraged her to go, even suggested she extend the trip. While she packed sunscreen and wine, I was securing a new apartment, transferring my savings, preparing the final documents. But then came the dinner that changed everything. Her sister was in town and insisted we meet. I tried to decline, but my wife pushed. "It'll be good for you," she said, with that patronizing tone I now recognized. I agreed. The restaurant was high-end. The same type we once reserved for anniversaries. Her sister greeted me with a hug. I stiffened. She didn't notice, or didn't care. Dinner started with small talk, laughter, inside jokes. I watched them more than I listened. Then my wife's phone buzzed. She showed her sister the screen, a smirk, suppressed laughter. "What's so funny?" I asked. "Nothing important," she said, tucking her phone away. Then her sister's husband caught my eye, just for a moment. There was something in his face. Sympathy? He knew. And then, like clockwork, the jab came. "Some of us just aren't built for endurance," her sister said casually, glancing at me. My wife nearly choked on her wine. Her eyes shimmered with the kind of joy only cruelty brings. That was the moment it all crystallized. I wasn't just an underwhelming partner in her eyes. I was the family joke, the group's favorite anecdote. I excused myself to the restroom and stood in a stall, heart pounding, fists clenched. The rage was blinding. The plan I had crafted, clean, calculated, private, suddenly felt insufficient. This wasn't just about ending a marriage anymore. This was about reclaiming my dignity. I returned to the table smiling, participated, laughed, toasted, perfectly composed. They never saw it coming. But soon they would. It was meant to be a sweet surprise, my wife's favorite takeout, an early night home to reconnect. But as I stepped into the house, I heard her voice upstairs, laughing on the phone. "8 years married and he still can't last 5 minutes," she said. I froze. "He thinks he's amazing, but I'm counting ceiling tiles. I've just learned to fake it." She was talking to her sister, mocking me, our intimacy, our marriage, like it was some cruel joke. I left without saying a word. For hours I sat in my car, numb. The woman I trusted, the one I loved, had been making me a punchline. And not just once. I soon discovered she'd been doing it for years, sharing intimate details with friends, co-workers, even family. So I made a plan. Originally, I intended to leave quietly during her upcoming girls' trip. Divorce papers left behind, my things moved out. But after hearing the depth of her disrespect, I changed everything. If she had mocked me publicly, then our ending would be public too. I invited her sister and brother-in-law to dinner, a final performance before the curtain dropped. Dinner started with smiles and small talk. But midway through the main course, I dropped the act. When did the jokes about my bedroom performance start? Silence. My wife went pale. 3 weeks ago, I came home early, heard it all. I listed everything, the betrayal, the texts, the threads, the group chats. Then I pulled out the divorce papers. "You made our private life a comedy show. It's only fair you witness how it ends." I handed her the envelope and walked away from 8 years of marriage. 6 months passed. The divorce was clean, quieter than expected. She didn't fight. Maybe guilt kept her compliant. Friends chose sides. Some disappeared. Others surprised me with their loyalty. Even her brother-in-law wrote to apologize. "You handled that with more dignity than I ever could." Therapy helped. Slowly, the humiliation faded. I rebuilt my life, my self-worth, my home. Eventually, she reached out. Texts, apologies, even a meeting. But I didn't want revenge. I wanted peace. And by then, I had it. One evening, while laughing with a new friend over coffee, I realized something. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't broken. I was free.